Hi, my name is Thomas Reed, and let's face it, the world's probably gonna end soon. We're polluting the world, our government's a mess, and we are ignoring the consequences that are produced with each of these subjects. So, since I value my life to a certain extent, I want to go out with a swan song and plan to stay alive as long as possible in this aforementioned outlook. I plan on doing so by prepping with some apocalyptic scenarios and figuring out how to survive them. Alright, let's see here. Zombie apocalypse. I've played enough zombie games to understand how to kill zombies in multiple ways. Robotic uprising. I've prepared enough AI paradoxes for that. Oh, and I have a ton of quarters. Giant slug invasion. Well, Twitch.tv exists, so we'll have enough salt for that. And, lastly, demonic invasion. I really didn't prepare for this one, no nor how to. If only there was a game to help me with that. Oh yeah, that would work. Ah! Demons! Doom, an id Software title released in 1993 via shareware. It revolutionized the first-person shooter genre of video games that many people play today. That's right, that generic game you play where you run around and shoot things. Yeah, that came from this. Right after the release of id Software's previous game, Wolfenstein 3D, John Carmack went into a deep seclusion and worked on a new engine based off of the one used for Wolfenstein, while the rest of id worked on the sequel to Wolfenstein 3D, Spear of Destiny. Carmack focused on specific elements to improve on with this new engine. This included textured mapped ceilings, floor varying, light levels, and more little tweaks here and there. What Carmack produced impressed the team so much that they were confident in producing an Aliens licensed title with this new engine. Yeah, that didn't quite work out, but it definitely was for the better. Later down the line, the guys at id were playing a campaign of D&D where, at the end, a portal to hell opened up and demons bursted out through the portal. After dealing with the trauma of this event, they sat back, thought a little bit, and said, yeah, I think this would make a pretty good game. Thus, Doom was born, and the team was fully set on producing the title. Everyone was so on board that even John Romero, a designer for the game, got so addicted to the game itself that he locked himself in his office at id Software. To get him out, John Carmack had to get a battle axe and chop down his office door. If this isn't an act of dedication, I don't know what is. Doom was released in 1993 for MS-DOS. The release process for this was via shareware and mail order. Shareware made it possible to release the first episode of the game for free for people to try, and try they did. Doom was the most installed piece of software in 1995, beating out Windows OS 1995. So what made this game so great then? Doom offers a unique style of gameplay that revolutionized FPS games to come, thus making it the grandfather of all FPSs. It capitalizes on Wolfenstein's style of run and gun action while providing a lot more in the departments of levels, enemies, weapons, abilities, pickups, and so much more. Everything has been ramped up and suits the theme of the game well. The only thing really left out of this is the story. Doom stars Doom Guy. Yep, that's his actual name. And he goes and kills demons on the moons of Mars. Oh, he also can't look up. And to quote Nick Frost, just like a dog. With the story out of the way, we can focus on what makes Doom, Doom, killing demons in several different ways. As the game progresses, you acquire several different weapons to fuel your demon-killing intent. Starting the game, you automatically acquire the pistol, a standard weapon that uses bullets and is good for precise shots. Depending on your knowledge of the game, next you will acquire the shotgun, a heavy damage, major spread weapon that uses shells as its ammunition. Next is the chainsaw, an upgrade to your standard fist melee. The chain gun, a minigun that shoots out bullets at an automatic fast pace. The plasma gun, an energy projectile launcher that shoots out plasma at an extremely high pace. The rocket launcher, that's self-explanatory. And we definitely cannot forget the big
Whoa.
What?
You can't say that. This is a school project.
Say what?
The F word. You can't say it.
Friendly?
Huh?
I was going to say friendly. The big friendly gun.
Oh, alright. Go on then.
As I was saying, the big friendly gun 9000. A mass energy weapon that deals damage to multiple enemies. The cost of the weapon is great, using 40 of your energy ammo. But in exchange, you can take down a Baron of Hell in 2 shots, saving you a headache in most situations. But we cannot have all these weapons without a threat to exterminate. And here they come now, through the gates of hell, the demons. First in the lineup, he's a marine turned evil due to the influence of hell, the Zombie Man. The Zombie Man is the standard enemy in Doom. They carry a rifle and do minimal damage, making them the weakest enemy in the game. Next up, we have the standard demon, the citizen of hell itself, the Imp. The Imp launches fireballs and scratches you if you get too close. Coming up from behind, charging into the room, the Demon, and his invisible brother, the Spectre. The Demon, aka Pinky, is a melee-based enemy. He's tough, taking 2 to 3 shotgun shells, and his brother follows suit, now with an invisible cloak, which makes him viewable, yet in hectic situations, pretty hidden. Carrying the heavy guns, the Shotgun Guy. A marine variant that carries a shotgun. His shots hit hard, but if you find him in the early game, you'll be treated to a shotgun. Flying into the room, the giant meatball itself, the Cacodemon. Inspired by a D&D monster, this demon shoots out fast lightning balls from a distance and has an incredible amount of health. Charging in behind him is the one and only Lost Soul. The Lost Soul targets Doomguy and charges forward, but can easily be taken down by a single shotgun shell. These are the main demons of hell that wander the levels of Doom, but let's not forget the bosses. Up first at the end of episode 1, not 1, but 2, Barons of Hell. These guys throw green projectiles that do insane damage. A couple of shots and he'll be dust. Blasting his way into Mars at the end of episode 2, the Cyber Demon. A demon infused with technology. This thing is massive and takes many rockets to kill. And last, but certainly not least, the Barrel. These things provide the greatest threat in every level. One misfire and... Wait, hold on. The barrel's an object. Hold on. Wait, oh, okay, here. Oh, here, okay, hold on. Got the script, okay. Sorry, wrong part. There we go. The Spider Mastermind! This is the final boss of Doom, and he packs quite the punch. Armed with a chain gun, he'll tear you to shreds in seconds if you're not careful. These demons of hell swarm the levels of Doom, just waiting to take a stab at you. But where does Doom even take place? Each episode has its own location. Episode 1 takes place on the Mars Moon Phobos, in the UAC facilities. The levels replicate this look perfectly, while maintaining a fast-paced, open run-and-gun arena style. It is so much fun to run around the levels and explore every nook and cranny they have. Some of these levels are even drawn like objects. Hey, look at this! I've been running around in a hand the whole time. How cool. Levels include open areas, dark foreboding areas, and even tight corridors from time to time. These levels also hold traps and secrets. While traps are pretty self-explanatory, secrets are spread throughout levels. They are in multiple locations, even going outside the buildings themselves. They are often hid behind an off-center texture and carry a good amount of loot, or even a better weapon in the early game. These can be triggered by either pressing U's on the texture or walking over a certain point in the level. Finding all the secrets can be a hassle sometimes though, and can result in... Yeah, this might take a bit. The secrets are creative, and even in some levels, there are secrets. In secrets. These levels have fantastic design that hold up to today, and put corridor shooters like Call of Duty to shame. The levels also contain multiple pickups for you to make sure you keep Doomguy in rip and tear condition. These include health, armor, ammo, keys, and abilities. Abilities grant the player certain powers including acid protection with a radiation suit, double ammo capacity with a backpack, a map with a computer area map, and night vision with the light amplification visor. But wait, there's more! Doom levels also contain timed power-ups such as Berserker, the useless punchy one. Seriously, if you're going to make a melee power-up, why am I not invincible? This is pointless. Megasphere, granting 200 health and 200 armor, invulnerability, what should have been included with Berserker, and partial invisibility, a way to cloak from the enemies. As you can see, with Doom being first person, it uses screen shaders to show the effects of the power-up. While some are like, yeah, this is pretty okay, some can be... Ah! My eyes! This is a really cool way of representing the power-up with the engine that they had back then. But now it's just an eyesore. But wait, it gets worse. The screen flashes the color when the power-up is about to run out, which turns what was previously my eyes! Into it got worse! Not only does this distract from the gameplay, but hinders the player who now has his eyes shut to avoid the true enemy of hell, flashing colors. Nevertheless, these power-ups and abilities really make Doom Guy feel like an unkillable demon-slaying machine. So with that being said, we have one last thing to talk about. How many demons do you want to kill? Doom offers 5 difficulties. I'm Too Young to Die. Hey, not too rough. I have to turn the page, hold on. Hurt Me Plenty. Ultra Violence. And, wait for this the scary one. Nightmare. The difficulty is adjusted in Doom by the amount of enemies present in a level and their level of AI. I'm Too Young to Die will have fewer enemies and make them have a potato for a brain, while Nightmare will load up the levels with enemies and make them the Isaac Newton of their time. Their speed and abilities also increase, so you really need to watch your steps and make your shots count. Difficulty in Doom is also found in death. When you die in a level, you get reset back to the beginning of the level. This would have been a nice live and learn scenario where you could figure out where you went wrong and try again if it wasn't for one factor. I forgot to mention that you also lose your weapons. Yeah, even weapons that you obtain in different levels. This is basically the equivalent of spending the evening making a pizza, only to drop it as you're getting it out of the stove. Sure, you just remake the pizza with what's left in the fridge, but it's still a big waste of time, energy, and money. Plus, you might have used the last of the pepperoni on that last one. The good news is you could always go down a difficulty level and just bake a frozen pizza. But where's the honor in that? Plus, you'd be starting from the beginning of the episode since you can't select maps mid-episode without going into the command prompt. At the end of the day, you'll get your pizza, baked or not. By the way, how's that oven looking? Because in this huge pizza-making metaphor, it could represent the graphics and sounds of Doom. Back in the day, Doom's design was advanced. Not only was 3D still incredibly rare, Doom's aforementioned levels were insanely detailed. We got varying textures with beautiful colors, decorations such as lights, blood, more lights, and more blood now with bodies, and even demonic imagery and symbols. This is a school project. Doom's atmosphere is one of the best in video games to date. When it wants to make you feel like a marine that just entered a new world, it slowly introduces you with a generic lighting scheme and even armor on a stand. When it wants you to feel scared, it dims the lights and amps up the noise of the demons roaring in the distance. And when it wants you to rip and tear, it presents you with a weapon and tells you to kick some demon butt. Demon butt. Pair this with the music and you got yourself a fight on Mars in Hell. Speaking of the music, Doom again makes great use of the technology of the time with its sounds. Remember how the original Game Boy made the Pokemon sound like a broken modem machine? Hey, this thing's actually pretty cute. Dear God! Well, I know it's a weird comparison to make since PCs had more advanced sound cards at the time, but it could have easily made the demons from Doom sound like this. Instead, while it does sound a bit cartoony, the cries of the demons are crisp and accurate to their in-game sprites. The weapons and abilities also have a nice sound effect to them, and the power-up's pickup sound makes the flashing colors worth it sometimes. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Doom's soundtrack is also pretty metal. It's a combination of rock and roll with some creepier tracks. The music adds to everything mentioned already to make the game really feel fast-paced and satisfying. And trust me, after playing the game silent for recording this review, you're gonna want to listen to the music to this. It's just not the same playing without it. Now that I've covered all the elements of Doom, it's time to cover the most terrifying part of this review. My opinion. Eat your heart out, comment section. In all seriousness, when I was younger, I always wanted to play Doom. Even if I had a better looking and sounding games at the time, there was always a charm to it. What held me back was the violence and imagery present, obviously. Eventually, I was able to play Doom, and I loved every second of it. It was so unique, and all the previously mentioned mechanics made it better and better. Completing the game was a different story though. While it was still an amazing experience, the weathering started to show, and elements like the power-up shading
Oh, it got worse!
did hinder my experience a little bit, but that can be easily overlooked. At the end of the day, Doom was a fantastic rip and tear, rock and roll experience that I recommend to anyone who has a general interest in video games, or just loves retro video games in general. Doom was a fantastic experience to say the least, and definitely helped me in preparing for a demonic invasion apocalyptic scenario. The bad news is I just looked at the news and apparently none of my scenarios came true. Apparently giant slime monsters are invading the planet or something. If only there was a game to help me with that.